We are gonna get into some lapel guard today. So lapel guard can get very kind of hairy, very in the weeds pretty quickly. In the next couple weeks, we're gonna look at lapel guard with the frame of reference of either De La Riva or closed guard first. In my opinion, lapel guards, all of the lapel guards, but especially worm and all of the worm guards are most similar to like a combination, a hybrid between De La Riva and closed guard. So we're gonna put them in context for every class. So we'll do this class, for example, a De La Riva sweep and then a very similar lapel guard sweep. Next week we'll look at a closed guard sweep and then a very similar lapel guard sweep. I've got my De La Riva hook, so I'm wrapping, curling my toes to my face and then wrapping my leg around my partner's knee, hooking right up inside the pocket, nice strong hook here. Bottom side, outside, I'm gonna have this cuff grip on the pants. On the inside, I've got 1 foot posting on the thigh, and I've got my hand up here on my partner's collar. What I'm gonna do with these grips and these posts is push my partner away so that I can sit up to my elbow. My partner's gonna stuff and step over my leg. As he does this, I'm gonna pull everything into me and give a little kick in the tailbone here. So I can put Cody on his hands. I take my foot off the tailbone and back to the leg, and then I kick him away again. Just sit back up to my elbow. He's gonna remove my hook and remove my post and step over it. I kick the tailbone, I pull to his hands, foot to the thigh, and we kick back up. He removes my hook and steps over. I pull from here. I make sure he's on his hands. I make sure I can get my foot to the thigh, and then I sit up. Right. He's gonna remove, step over, I pull to the hands, post and sit up. Go here, a couple times here. De La Riva is characterized by this hook, right? My outside hook, wrapping around my partner's leg from the outside, hooking up inside the pocket, and giving me a good amount of control on this near leg. Lots of things I can do with my hands, but for today, we're grabbing on to the pants here, right on the cuff. Now, even though my De La Riva is kind of built on this leg, this posting leg, this other leg, is the one that does most of the work, most of the movement. So this leg is static, this leg is a lot more dynamic. So I can go to the thigh, push away. If Cody steps over, I can go to the tailbone and pull. If we want to get a little trickier, we can go to the belt knot and kick over. We can do a lot with this leg, but it needs to be an active leg. I'm constantly monitoring my partner with this leg. But on my static leg, my goal is to take my partner's knee and point it facing the inside. So I do not want his knee pointed at me. It's gonna be a little harder to start to set things up here. I certainly don't want his knee pointed outwards, because there goes my hook. Right, so I want to take my partner's knee and turn it inside. I can do that by kind of pinching or adducting my hip here, turning my knee in just slightly. And now you can see Cody's knee is facing towards the inside of the position. I can curve it in. His hips are no longer facing me. His shoulders are no longer facing me. He's gonna have a hard time staying balanced. Okay? So as we start to move him around here, it should be way easier to get him to his hands, get him to his hips. So we're gonna hit the same sit up that we hit to warm up. So I'm kicking my partner away. I'm building up to my elbow. If Cody stays kind of bent over here, it should be easy to manipulate his body. But sometimes our partner will posture up here hard. Right? If he postures up, I'm feeling the strain on my grip. I'm feeling like I can't keep this position for long. And he's gonna start to push my leg down and getting close. But if I feel him posture up, I can use this against him. His weight is now going backwards. Okay, so I'm gonna release my pant grip and post onto the mat. I'm gonna release my foot off of his thigh and post on the mat. And now I'm basically just doing a technical stand-up. The only difference is when I do this technical stand-up, I'm gonna hook and remove his leg. I hook onto the leg, I turn the knee inward, I grab the collar and pants. I'm gonna extend my partner away. Sometimes our partner will posture up here. When I feel this, I take my foot to the mat, I take my hand or elbow to the mat. I want to get my hips as high as possible. I'm gonna push his shoulder, and then I'm gonna use this leg like I'm doing a technical stand-up, but I'm gonna scoop his heel. Knock him down. I build up Cody's posturing, I can feel it in my grip. My foot goes to the mat, my hand goes to the mat, hips high, our partner's weight back, scoop and remove the leg. The first thing I need to do is figure out how to get my partner's lapel out of his jacket. So we're gonna start here in De La Riva. What I don't wanna do is start reaching up with my hands and opening this thing up, because in all that time I have no frame on my partner, and he's gonna start using that against me. He's gonna smash my shoulder to the mat. He's gonna pass my guard here. So if I wanna get this jacket out of his belt, I'm not gonna use my hand. I'm gonna take my foot right inside the jacket here and just open it out. And now that it's open, the tail of the jacket is out of the belt. Now I can start going after it with my hand. But I don't do that until I have my partner's kind of base occupied here. So I'm gonna sit up, kick him away like we did in the warm up. Go reaching for this lapel, and then I'm gonna sit back down because I don't have enough lapel yet. So I'm gonna take my foot back to that V of the jacket and start shimmying this out. If I can do this while also knocking my partner off balance, that's ideal. Again, I wanna minimize the time where I don't have a frame on him. So rather than just try and open the jacket, I'm gonna try and open the jacket and get my partner to stumble. When he comes back up, I can start to wrap this thing up. I'm gonna sit up again and hook onto my partner's leg like I'm playing sit-up guard. I take the lapel, I pass it around my leg into my other hand. If you watch my foot here, right now I'm on the thigh, I'm gonna slide past it as I fall back. So I'm not on the thigh anymore, I'm in the pocket. And from here I need to make one more grip change. I'm gonna take this inside hand and replace my outside hand palm up. Everybody see my hand? I'm palm up behind the knee. What's this do? This is gonna give me the control of my partner's knee that I wanted in De La Riva. So his knee, if you notice, is not facing anywhere near me, it's facing that way. That's where I want it. You can stand back up. All right. I have this grip here. Now I can start attacking. Before I initiate my sweeper, in my sweeping motion, I wanna make sure my inside knee is over the top of my partner's inside knee. So here I'm gonna have a little bit less success. Here I have much more control of his leg. Now what are we doing? We're building up to our elbow. I can't put my foot to the mat because it's already glued in this position. All I'm gonna do is kind of reach for my partner's back leg and then kick my top leg, chop my bottom leg to knock my partner over. Because I have his knee, I can just move in and out. I'm gonna use my foot to swipe it out. I kick up, I can grab onto it, I fall back. If I need more material, now's the time I'll get it. From here, I'm gonna sit up again. I wrap the leg and I pass the lapel over my own leg to my other hand. And now as I fall back, I'm gonna slide my foot off the hip and into the pocket. From this position, I take my inside arm and I grab onto the lapel. The closer toward the tail, the very end of the lapel, the better. I have a tighter grip here, but Cody can go taking this arm and reaching for the tail and ripping it out of my hand. So if I grab the very end of it, it makes that a little more challenging for him. Now we're in sweep time, right? I take my inside knee over the top of my partner's knee. I'm gonna build up to my elbow and go reaching for his back leg. I chop and I kick. If Cody has just a tremendous base here, and I'm trying to sweep him over and I can't do it, I'm gonna hit a technical stand up, and now I'm gonna rush him down. That's my knee. Hang on to that grip for as long as possible when you finish the sweep. See how much more you can get with the grip after you've already put your partner in the back. Just like we did last week to warm up, I'm gonna sit up to my elbow. Last week, we warmed up with our partner pushing our inside hook down and stepping over it. And I was pulling him to his hands here to reset. Today, we're gonna deal with our partner pushing our outside hook down. As my partner pushes my outside hook down, I'm gonna fall to my back. And what I wanna do is make this hook heavy. My partner's got his hand on it, so it's gonna be hard for me to stick this hook back in just using my leg. So what I'm gonna do instead is stand on my partner's thigh. Can you narrow your stance just a little bit? I'll stand on my partner's thigh. I'm gonna stand up to my shoulder and my temple here, and then make my spine straight so that I can connect my leg to the far side of my partner's body. As I sit up, my partner's gonna push my leg off. I sit back and now I'm gonna stand on my partner. If I absolutely can't stand on my partner's thigh, I can put this foot on the mat instead, but the idea is to get my hips as high as possible. So as I stand on my partner's thigh, I'm gonna shoot my hook across. I can only go so far unless I flatten my spine. So lock everything out here. And now the tension of this is gonna help me to kick my partner over. I'm not too worried about how we get up, so let's just kind of release our grips, build our way up. My partner's gonna give me this De La Riva. He'll sit up to his elbow. I'm gonna push his hook down, and he's gonna stand up on my thigh, stand up on his shoulder, and extend his spine so that I fall back. He'll get up. Look at what's on the backside here. I've got my De La Riva. I sit up to my elbow. My partner clears my outside hook. I drop back. I stand on my shoulder. I stand on my temple. I stand on his thigh and snake through. And I can use the extension of my leg to knock my partner over. And we'll work our way up. Putting a stick in the spokes here, right? I'm driving my foot across the hook onto my partner's far thigh. From here, if I can knock my partner back, that's what I'm gonna do. But sometimes he's leaning forward here, so it's very hard to kind of make him stumble if he doesn't want to. If I find my partner's hard to knock off of his base, I'm gonna return back down to my hips, now with this long hook across his hips. From here, I know he's leaning forward, which means all the weight's in his shoulders. So I can take my hand off the collar, reach up, and grab onto the belt, or the drawstring, or something back here. I'm gonna crunch my chest into my knee so that I can reach to this far leg. Sometimes a partner has a wider base. If he's got a wide base, I'm just gonna use this hook to kind of pull him back. And now I grab onto this far cuff. Now that I'm here, I can take my free outside hook that was across his body, across the top, and put it behind his knee. If I need some space to do that, I can shrimp on the mat to get my foot behind his knee. Now I'm squaring up with my partner, and I'm gonna, with this hand, pull his chest, or his hips rather, down to my chest. Now I wanna finish this back take. The way I'm gonna do that is I have control of his left leg. I'm gonna kick towards the right and make him do the James Brown. Turn with me. See this kind of James Brown split he's in? He's immobile here, right? Turn to your left, a little away from me. Turn to your right. Done. Because his leg is extended and this leg's curled, he can't move. Hook, hook, seatbelt. If he falls back, that's great, I sweep him. But my partner's leaning forward to make it hard for me to knock him backwards. So I can reach up to the belt. I'm gonna crunch in and reach across to this far leg. Now I set my hook behind his knee. If I need space, I can use the mat to push my shoulders backwards. I square myself up with my partner and I pull his hips down to my chest. We're gonna kick towards the leg I don't have control of so that my partner's in the split. Now from here, hook, hook, seatbelt. So I'm gonna put my foot in the V of the jacket here and open up. If I can knock my partner off balance while I do this, even better. Now I have enough here. So I'm gonna sit up, I wrap it around my leg, and then pass to the other hand. Okay, now here we can fall back. We looked at a sweep from here last week. We also looked at a sweep when I pass back to the inside hand palm up last week, where I can kind of tilt my hips over like this. But I've done all this work to get the lapel. So if I want to knock my partner back, fine. But I want to get to a better position. Because my partner's hips are forced that way with this lapel, I have a free shot here to take my outside leg across my partner's legs. And again, put this stick in the spokes. I've got a free hand doing nothing. So I'm gonna use this hand to reach up and grab onto my partner's hips or belt. And as I fall to my back, I'm gonna pull his hips to my chest. Now my only job here is to extend everything towards my partner's hands and face. I keep the grips for as long as I can so that I can build and take the back. To grab the lapel, I'm gonna start making some space and sitting up again. to wrap around my foot, make sure my foot falls off the shelf. Then as I fall back, I pass around my partner's leg. I still want to control his knee with mine, so I take my thigh over the top of his. I have a free leg here that I can reach across with. I have a free hand here I can reach up and grab onto the drawstring of the belt with, and I pull to my chest. Now here, I just extend towards my partner's face, I hang on to everything, and now I have a free shot at the back. Notice when my partner falls, every time he falls to his hand. I'm not gonna show that today other than just this, but we'll look at that technically on Thursday. I can kick my partner away with this, push up, set up to my elbow, and start attacking. Sometimes when I get here, my partner's gonna stuff my leg, and we looked at putting the hands on the mat and recovering this position. Another thing we looked at earlier this week is when my partner pushes my hook down. And I'm gonna have a much harder time kind of kicking him back up because it's hard to get my hook to go back in when my partner's got his hand on my shin here. But if I stand up on my shoulders and my partner's thigh, I can thread through for deep De La Riva and start to attack here. But sometimes we kind of miss our opportunity to do this. And if Jorge pushes my inside leg down, steps over it, and goes right to a knee cut, I need this reverse De La Riva to save me, right? So I've got my toes wrapping around my partner's pocket here. I've got a knee shield ideally, or foot to hip, and I'm gonna start framing. Now, my first frame is gonna be my inside frame, right here, outside frame rather, right here on the shoulder. My next frame, I wanna stop the crossface. If my partner grabs his crossface here, he's gonna get my shoulders and hips flat, and he's gonna pass my guard. So as he pushes this post down and knee cuts, my reverse De La Riva is gonna be my initial block. I'm blocking the near shoulder, giving a good stiff arm to the shoulder. I'm controlling the far sleeve. And now what I wanna do is get my partner's knee to the mat. So I'm gonna take my outside foot, which was either here in this knee shield, or foot on foot, or even foot on shoulder. I'll take this foot in front of my partner's foot. So we're going instep to instep here. And I'm gonna kick both my legs back behind my partner to put his knee on the mat. And we can get into this knee shield half guard. For now, I'm gonna have my partner stand back up into De La Riva. I'll reset my De La Riva position here. My partner's gonna push that post down again and knee cut. I'll go into reverse De La Riva, hooking around his pocket, getting a shin or a foot across, blocking the far shoulder, or blocking the near shoulder, blocking the far hand. And now I'm gonna get foot in front of foot so that I can extend my partner's leg back behind him, putting his knee on the mat. And we've recovered a half guard, or he's gonna stand up so we can get back to De La Riva. He'll push and cut. Here's my reverse De La Riva. Knee across, blocking the near shoulder, blocking the far sleeve. So I can get foot in front of foot and extend away. Make some space. Foot in front of foot here so that I can extend everything back behind my partner and recover the half guard. From this position, we're gonna work on getting up to the back. So I have my grips in place here. I'm gonna remove my collar grip. This isn't helping me anymore. And I'm gonna go to my partner's wrist, right? Now from here, I can let go of this grip, but I need to immediately build up to my elbow. And from here, I'm gonna punch my partner's hand to the mat. I keep tension in this, right? As long as my partner's hand can't come off the mat, he can't follow me. Now I'm gonna kick my knee off his body and go elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder. I'm gonna have to let go of my left arm, but before I do that, I wanna reinforce it. So I come off the mat and I grab onto my partner's arm here and continue pressing. Now I can get behind my partner. We're gonna take 3 big back steps here. 1, 2, 3, take the back. I go in to my reverse De La Riva, hooking around the outside of his pocket with my inside foot. I block the shoulder, I block the cross face. And now here I wanna get his knee on the mat, so I take my outside foot, instep to instep, shoelaces to shoelaces, in front of my partner's foot, and I kick his leg behind him so his knee hits the mat. And we get into half guard. I'm gonna switch this collar grip to the wrist. I can ditch this far side sleeve grip, but I have to get up to my elbow quickly. And I put his hand on the mat. All of my tension's going to this hand. I wanna make sure he's pinned here. Now I can kick my knee off, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder. Now that I'm behind him, I want to reinforce this hand so I block. Keep pressing down. And now I can grab this underhook. From here, three big back steps. 1, 2, 3, and hooks. I swipe the white. I'm gonna return here. We've been working on this kind of sit-up method where we push our partner away, grab onto the lapel, open the jacket up. This is gonna be the same for every lapel guard sequence where I use my partner's jacket, I kind of open things up, and now we're ready to go again. I can sit up and wrap my leg into place here and fall back. If this is feeling pretty simple for you now, that's great. We can cut a step out by just treating the lapel like an arm and lassoing it. So what I mean is, look at that. I'm in lapel guard, right? Now, in most of our lapel guard sequences here, we've been either keeping this arm here or passing our inside hand over our thigh, palm up. The only change we're gonna make today is we're not gonna go over our thigh. We're gonna go under our thigh in front of our partner's shin and still palm upward. This is reverse de la worm guard. Can you take a step with your left leg? There you go. Right. Now here, my partner, I have a lot of tension on my partner because my foot in the jacket is pushing his hands down. It's pulling him to me. And there's a lot of tension on this leg too. Now we talked about my key to winning this position being to get my thigh on top of my partner's thigh. And we can stay in this battle, but one of the ways I can win this every time is by making a grip, taking my outside foot in front of my partner's shin and kicking behind him. His knee's on the mat, I have his thigh, right? Now I'm gonna sit up, grab onto as high across the body as possible, so hip is good, armpit's way better, and then series of back steps. 1, 2, 3. I keep this grip, or he can't run away from me. I start choking. So, however we get the lapel, it's got a handle on this. We can either use the sit-up method or lasso and get one sit-up in here. Now my partner's hands are on the mat. I'm not going over my thigh behind the knee. I'm going under my thigh, in front of the shin, and behind the knee. Can we rotate this way just a little bit? Everybody see where my grip is? I'm kind of upside down here. I can't see if you can see. Take one more step with your left. My grip is under my own leg, in between my partner and I, and behind his shin. And so now when I take my left leg to my partner's left shin, or my partner's inside shin, I can extend his knee to the mat. Sit up, latch on as high as I can, series of back steps. 1, 2, choke. So we're gonna do one more week here of lapel guard. When we started this up, we talked about how, at least in my opinion, lapel guard is kind of a hybrid between de la Riva and closed guard. So it kind of starts off in de la Riva, or it passes through de la Riva. But when we get all of our grips into place, it feels a lot like closed guard. We're gonna look at the closed guard element of that today. We're gonna start in closed guard to warm up. So round one here from closed guard. I've got my legs locked around my partner. I've got my hips elevated off the mat. So right now my hips are sagging on the mat. I don't like this. My hips are lower than my partner's. If he leans back, he's gonna put a lot of pressure on my feet. I want to get my hips up in the air so that my weight is kind of controlling my partner's lower back here. So it's not me that's carrying the weight, it's my partner. When he gets a collar grip on me, I got this in for now. I'm gonna break 2-on-1, push him to the sky. I'll take his hand, I'm gonna kind of slap his hand here to roll it under my wrist and set up his pistol grip. And now I go to the armpit here, making this pocket grip, and I pull the tricep to my chest using my hands and my knees. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna unlock my legs, but I don't wanna put my feet on the mat. Putting my feet on the mat gives my partner way too much space and the ability also to start reaching at my legs. Instead, when I unlock my guard, I'm gonna squeeze my knees and then turn myself to face my partner. So I'm at this superior angle here, and I'll relock my guard, grabbing onto that far armpit. From here, I'm gonna build up to my elbow, maintaining this grip the whole time. And I'm gonna flare my chest into my partner's armpit. So I want to maintain tension on this arm. I do that by expanding my chest. Now from here, I'm gonna unlock again and press down against the belt with my top leg, like I'm doing arm bar here. It's gonna end up looking like a technical stand-up. So I press down, this is my stand, and then my knee comes up and out the pocket. From here, I don't wanna go over the top and take the back. I feel like I'm riding a horse here. I'm gonna lose my position. I'll end up in this kind of half turtle position here. And I can either go seatbelt or power half, making my partner's nose touch his belt knot. Moving over to back control. So we go hips up, abs engaged here, making my partner carry my weight. I break the grip. I'm gonna slap the top of the hand to roll his wrist under my wrist, grab onto the pocket grip here in the armpit, and bring the tricep to my chest. Can start reaching across the body, unlock my guard, squeezing my knees to get onto my side, and then up to my elbow. I maintain this grip the whole time. The biggest mistake here is letting go of this grip. I'm gonna expand my chest into the armpit, pressure down to make this leg heavy so my bottom leg is light, and I can draw my knee out. I don't wanna go over the top here. I wanna settle to control the near side of my partner's body, and then either seatbelt or power half, put the nose on the belt knot. Take him over to back control. Now, I want to get to my partner's back, so I'm going to press down against his belt with my upper leg, my outside leg here, and try and remove my knee to the mat. Sometimes, as I'm starting to work across my partner's back, my partner's going to get active with this arm, trying to square up with me, right? So he's going to try and get this arm in between us to stop me from getting or holding myself across his back. If I feel like this elbow is leaving the mat, I'm keeping pressure down. But if Jorge brings the elbow across my chest here, I'm gonna have a little bit of a harder time getting to his back. My chest can't make contact, right? But if he's bringing this elbow to me, I'm gonna take that instead. I can release the armpit and go elbow to elbow here. And now I'm gonna bring my shin over the top of his head and then look towards his feet as I pinch my knees. Sometimes we'll get the arm bar right here. Sometimes our partner will roll. If he decides to roll, I pull the knuckles to the sky first. And then I put my leg over the face for the second arm bar here. Up to my elbow, maintaining this grip, big chest. I can push down on the belt to start to remove my bottom leg. And now here, if my partner gives me the route to the back, I take the back. But sometimes he's gonna try and impede me with this elbow, right? So he's trying to get this elbow, this arm in between us. I feel like he's blocking me. I can release the armpit, elbow to elbow. I wanna put my leg over the top of his head. The biggest mistake here is to try and go to like a traditional armbar where my foot's in front of the face. Posture is my enemy here. If I go in front of the face, my partner can posture up. I'm not holding him down anymore, and that elbow slips out. In this armbar, I want to keep my partner's head down, so my leg has to go behind it here, and I'm pinching my knees. Now, a lot of us will try to finish this way, but the same thing is happening, right? When I'm on my right hip in this case, there's no weight in my left leg, so my partner can posture up. But if I turn to look at his feet, all my weight's gonna go to my left hip. Posture up now. All he can do is roll. When he rolls, I pull the knuckles to the sky first to make sure I have all of the elbow, and then we finish the armbar. However we set up our lapel guard, so whether we use a sit-up method, I'm gonna use the lasso method today. I make my first pass. I'm gonna make my second pass. My second pass, I can either go over my lap or under my lap and in front of the shin. I'm gonna start under, but we'll show both. So I'll go under and in front of the shin for this reverse stable arm guard, right? Now from here, I know I can put my partner's knee on the mat. I can reach up and start attacking the back. And if my partner allows me to reach up and start attacking the back, I'll go for the back, right? But a lot of times his only recourse here is gonna be to get his arm in between us. And when the arm goes in between us, we anchor, we go belly down, we look at the feet. Because I have this grip, I can force my partner to stay if I want to. Go ahead and roll. or I can force him to roll if I want to. I can either sit up or I can lasso. We're gonna go to reverse de la worm, so that means I'm taking my hand under my thigh in front of the shin and then latching palm up on the gi. Right from here, I wanna put my partner's knee on the mat so I can use my free outside leg here to ground his knee. And I'm gonna start reaching up, taking his back. If he does nothing here, I take the back. If he puts his arm in between me and him, I latch onto it, I go belly down, I look towards the feet, and now I get to decide, do I wanna break it here, or do I wanna make him roll? Some of us may prefer the more traditional worm guard here, where I go over my thigh, behind the knee. And now we looked at a different back take here where I go to X guard, reach up and grab the hips, pull his hips down to my chest, right? So same thing occurs. If I go to take his back and he starts kind of reaching in between me and him, I can still take the arm, but I have to let go of the grip. You're gonna feel it in your wrist. It's gonna be very hard to make this turn with my hand connected. So if I'm going over my thigh, I've got to let go of the grip. This way. 3.